Hi guys, I'm Zoe, and this channel is mostly about me playing games and reviewing them. However, life happened, things took a bit of a turn recently. I ended up doing a whole world tour, and although this channel is not about it, I thought it would be really cool to show you guys what I did, especially as part of it was my first ever solo trip. Sit back, relax, and let's go to the first country on our list, the US. Whoop. This is Kevin. I'm doxing him today, so he's gonna be part of this voiceover today. How you doing, Kevin? Yeah, pretty much.
Parce que c'est vrai qu'une fois...
So discovering New York for the first time was just absolutely amazing. You know, like there's really not that many cities that you see in so many movies and so many books. And it was just such a unique feeling to actually be there, feeling like I was in Gossip Girl or Sex and the City. I didn't really know what I was doing at first. Like I was literally just like wandering around because like in the end you just want to get like a New York feel really.
I think I'm in Madison Square Park, or at least that's what it's called. Really pretty. I can hear the birds, which is kind of insane when you're like in the middle of Manhattan. I have no idea what I'm gonna do today actually. I think it's mostly just gonna be strolling around, going to the neighborhoods, seeing what's up really. First time in New York, so I think I just need to really get used with the city, see what's around.
While I was walking around, I actually stumbled upon this bookshop called The Strand, and I immediately recognized it from Dash and Lily. And it was so good, could see like so many books, there were so many genres, and like it just like the fact that they were all stacked like not in perfect order was like so homey and really gave it like such a like cute little old bookshop kind of vibe. So I really loved it. I got a bag from it. This is the bag that I got from The Strand. It's really cute, it's really big. But Jesus, it cost me like $30. So yeah, definitely make sure that I keep using it.
I'm trying to find a coffee shop at the moment. So yeah, let's find a coffee shop.
Right after going to the cafe, I went to Kat's Delicatessen, which was definitely on my go-to list of New York. This place is probably one of the most New Yorker places I had ever been. Filled with people, everyone is like kind of shouting at each other, but the food is so good. I literally just took my tray, your typical beef pastrami sandwich. I was feeling like Joey from Friends, and just had a big bite. And actually there was so much food that I basically only managed to eat half. I felt really bad, like I felt like I was wasting food, which basically I was, but I just cannot force myself. On the second day, I just had like a quick little breakfast before we headed off to the Natural History Museum. I was actually so glad that the museum was in Central Park because it just allowed me to go and see Central Park for the first time. And oh my god, it looked so beautiful with the autumn leaves and the autumn colors.
Now that I'm in Central Park, I feel like it's actually a good moment to like tell you guys what I'm actually doing. So I'm currently transitioning between jobs. It's not something I wanted, but it's something that kind of just happened. It's happened to a lot of people, and so like that's absolutely fine. I just decided to then take the opportunity to go and travel for a bit because it's something that I never got to do after my studies, and especially before going into a job. And since this is something that kind of just happened without my control, I decided to take control of the time that was then given to me, have some money saved up on the side, and decided to do this amazing trip. So right now I'm at the first step of my trip, which is New York. As you can see, it's gonna be my first solo trip for around 3.5 weeks, and I wanted to vlog this to give myself something to do and also just like get out of my shell a little bit, because this is what this trip is gonna be for. I'm really loving the colors. This is absolutely so beautiful. Obviously, this is my first time in New York, but this is so gorgeous. I do not realize how lucky I am to be here at this time of the year. It's literally perfect. And as you can see, I'm wearing like a short sleeve, so it's literally around like 20 degrees with the autumn colors, which is pretty insane. It's my first time doing this shot. Felt good.
Going to the Natural History Museum was like definitely one of the things I really wanted to do in this week that I had in New York. Every time I was looking at like those diasporas, I kept thinking about like, oh my god, it makes so much sense that they came up with the idea of a night at the museum. When you see those animals, it feels like they could come to life at any second. I also stumbled upon the space section, which was, well, so cool. By that point, I was pretty much famished, so I just ended up at the cafeteria where I got some mac and cheese, dinosaur-shaped nuggets, a bag of Cheetos, and the most humongous bottle of iced tea. Yes, this thing is literally the size of my head. Headed back to Central Park, took one last stroll, and I kept like hearing this sound. I kept hearing this beautiful instrument, so I decided to go all the way up to the source, stumbled upon this beautiful bridge that had the most amazing views, and there was this guy there playing. It felt like being literally in a movie. Day 3 was much more planned, so I had to meet a friend in Brooklyn, but before I really wanted to check out Trader Joe's. Then headed to the Starbucks roastery. So actually there's not that many roasteries, there's not that many Starbucks roasteries in the world. They only have it at 5 locations, I think. And I've never been to one, so I really wanted to check out the one in New York. The roastery was actually enormous. It was really, really big. Of course, I had my little pumpkin spice lattes. Like, you could just not go there and not have a coffee that was freshly grinded and brewed by the roastery that was literally right in front of you. So that was absolutely amazing. Had the best time. The merch was also so adorable. I was really thinking if I should buy that mug, but I have 10,000 at home. And the staff was just really nice. The bodyguard asked me about my camera because I have a DJI. And then it was time to go and meet my friend in Brooklyn. People kept telling me that the New York subway was impossible to navigate, but I thought that I did pretty well. Like, I changed lines and it kind of all happened, and then all of a sudden, I was in Brooklyn. It was so beautiful again. I know I keep just saying how beautiful it was, but look at these pictures. I had a lunch with my friend, and then we decided to just, because she had some work to get done, we just decided to stroll the streets and go to a cute cafe that had free Wi-Fi, and we basically just spent the entire afternoon there. It was actually a total coincidence that we were both in New York at the same time, and I hadn't seen her in forever, so I was just really, really glad to finally catch up. Of course that I had timed my walk back to Manhattan with the sunset, because I really just wanted to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge for the first time in the most perfect conditions. If you don't know, I'm always looking for that main character feeling. The river is really beautiful. This trip quickly coming to a close, I had to hit the maximum of New York landmarks, starting with the Met. Not only did I snap my best Blair Waldorf pose on the steps, I had my best time wandering around and looking at different collections. After that, I went to the Rockefeller Center, of course, and it was magical seeing the people ice skating in front of it like you see in the movies. Another thing is that my mom's birthday was actually right before this trip, and my gift to her was a New York bagel making class. She loves cooking, it was super fun, and we basically did everything starting from the dough and were taught by an expert New York baker. Also, I didn't know the secret to a mushy inside, crunchy outside bagel was that you boil them before baking them. Like, I had no idea, and hopefully I taught you that today if you didn't know either. I'm purposefully not showing my face here because they offered us free drinks during the class and I was completely wasted after one beer. We ended up with like 20 bagels to take, and I left mine with my mom because they couldn't travel with me to my next destination. But wow, it was a 10 out of 10 experience. I didn't film too much around the end of the trip as my mom was finally off work and we were just enjoying time together, especially her bringing me to her favorite New York spots. We explored a bit more of Manhattan, enjoying this magical feeling where New York is slowly transitioning from autumn to winter. Soon enough, it was time to pack our stuff and head to the airport before I set off to my next destination. See you soon!
The next station is Tokyo.
Please exit through the rear door